I'm here.
Yay!
Hi.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
You too. Meet
You're going to
you.
be rambling on.
All good. I do the same.
How are you today?
Pretty good. I'm in a house like in the woods. As you can see outside, it's just like trees. No, you can't see. Okay, cool. Anyway, it's nice. It's remote, but we just got new internet, so the connection is perfect. So that way when I work out here, I'm not just like pulling out teeth, like, sorry, connection lost. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the worst.
So. Yeah.
Trust excited Utopia people in the chat. Lots of excited people from Utopia Falls fans in the chat.
I know.
Gosh, we have like a little group chat. It's so cute.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I mean, they're like my OG because last year, I mean, that's all I had. My show premiered and then suddenly we went into lockdown, and I feel like the Utopia Falls fandom like kept me going and excited. I remember, it was my first like COVID birthday, and they all made me this beautiful kind of like a PowerPoint presentation, but no, it was just like a video of all of them saying happy birthday and really kind messages or drawings or letters. And I was just like, how did I get here?
That's
it was
so
just so surreal and so sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad we could have sort of bit more normal birthdays this year.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I still had a COVID birthday. It was April, so we were still in lockdown. I still was alone. Well, with my partner, but still couldn't have like a party or anything like that or friends. So it's fine. Next year.
Next year, fingers crossed, afterwards. Okay, so we've got a few questions come through, and then I've got some from me as well. So let's have a look down here. Can we see you in Ginny and Georgia season 2?
I can't talk about it.
I thought, are they filming it now or?
Not yet.
I think
soon.
Not yet. So I think it's probably everything sort of time shifted a little bit, I think.
For sure, yeah. I mean, I think with the pandemic is hard too, but I'm sure that everyone's been seeing the Ginny and Georgia updates and like their stories, and you can see that everybody's in the writer's room. There's some new writers jumping on board. Everyone's really excited. So they were just essentially finalizing scripts, and yeah, it's cool.
That's good.
I guess we'll see what happens in season 2.
I watched it and I was like, I don't know really what sort of genre it was going to be at all when I started watching it, and it turned out it was like totally different than what I expected, like in a good way. I thought
that's good.
It's like
honestly, I think a lot of people,
as well as funny.
Yeah, I definitely heard the same thing from a lot of people. They were like, I wasn't sure about this. Don't know if it's my thing. And then they started watching and they're like, I can't put it down. Binged it in one night. I was like, whoa.
Not quite that quick, but
yeah. I'm like, I don't have that kind
of time. That's crazy. You'd have to literally spend 24 hours binging it. That's nuts.
You know what? That's love.
Just a bit.
I need to rewatch it. It's like next year I will.
Excellent. There's another question on here that says, what was it like for you coming out, and when did you know yourself?
I knew since I was very young. I was probably like 10. And I always felt that way. I just always felt like I didn't really care about people's gender. Like for me, it was like, I like people, and why is there a rule that like I can only date men? And I grew up very religious, so it was really hard for me to come to terms with that. So yeah, I was probably in the closet for a long time. It was only like in the past 5 years that I finally started telling people, and came out to my partner, and they were like, yeah, I know, of course. And I was like, like crying. So it's been a journey, and I think going into acting and playing queer roles really allowed me to feel more confident in myself. And there came a point where I was like, you know what? I'll just live my truth. I don't have to explain myself or, have the reasonings why, make the post or whatever, the coming out thing. It happened very naturally. And then the culminating thing of all of it was Ginny and Georgia. When it came out, I just felt very like seen and safe. And these characters that I had played from like Vanessa and In the Dark and Brooklyn and Utopia Falls and now Sophie, it's like, it's almost like the universe being like, it's okay to be you. All of these characters love who they love, and there's no reason why they have to explain themselves. And it just reassured me that I got to choose that for myself too. And I have the privilege to live in a place where I can do that safely. And it just felt really good to kind of just finally say it. And now I tell anybody, like, even if they don't ask me, I'm like, hi, I'm Humberly, I'm queer. Like, it feels really good to like say it.
You never finish coming out. Like, you always coming out.
You always have to say it. And it feels good to continue exploring that, because for me, it was like, I didn't know what label to adopt. I didn't know, like, am I queer enough? Am I this enough? And I was like, listen, and I get this a lot. People are like, how do you know? And I'm like, because if you are not following some kind of like traditional heteronormative, like binary that people are telling you, like, this is the only person you're allowed to date. If you are outside of that, if you already have curiosity about other humans that identify differently, man, woman, trans, like whatever it is, if you already feel that, it's because you're open-minded and you have love for more than one gender or person. And so there's no rule book. I would just tell people, like, follow your heart. A person is a person, no matter what they look like and identify as. It's like, it's your soul. It's energy for me. I'm always like, look, if we vibe, we vibe. Like, that's it. That's kind of my rule.
Exactly. There's quite a few people in the comments saying that you helped them when they came out and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's a positive effect. I think it's like a ripple effect. Like, if some people see it that it's okay, like other people will feel a bit more comfortable maybe to come out on, then it sort of passes on, I feel like. And that's really nice.
I definitely felt very supported. And I remember, especially from last year in Utopia Falls, and especially this year more so, I got a lot of messages from people being like, thank you, you've inspired me to, like, lean into that part of myself. Or like, I watched the show with my mom and I came out to her while watching it. Like, literally sitting there reading these messages. And I do read all of those stories, and it's just like so heartwarming and inspiring that I'm so happy that I did it. And I was courageous enough to also talk about who I really am, and because it means that other people get to live like their true life. And that makes me the happiest. Honestly, that's the whole point of this.
Yeah. Did you I've noticed you play a lot of queer characters, but like, did that come about just organically, that just happened, or did you specifically choose that? Because that's like,
I wish I could choose that. I don't. I mean, as an actor, if the part is intriguing to me, I accept the audition and I audition, but there's never like a guaranteed that you're gonna get it. I think the camera just knew. I feel like very genuinely I can portray authentic emotions on screen, whether that's with a male actor, a female actor, whoever. And so as long as there's that truth in it, then that's the actor that they want. So it was kind of just like a gift, a blessing in disguise, because then, like I said, it allowed me to kind of accept parts of myself and be like, oh, people like this character and she's queer. Does that mean that they'll like me if I am? If it was like a little
like testing the waters a little bit.
And like just testing the waters. But honestly, I've gotten so much love. So I'm super grateful. I love my entire fandom. I feel like they're the best. I'm like, look, it's not creepy men sliding into my DMs or anything. If anything, it's just people being like, I want to marry you. I'm like, okay. I'm like, no, it's just all love.
You've got lots of options
really
there,
Yeah.
That's cool. I've got some questions here from Twitter. I'll quickly do one. From Amanda 25 CA. I'm assuming that's Canada, maybe. They said, what ridiculous thing has someone tricked you into doing or believing?
Oh gosh. Should I say it? I mean, yes. And you know what? It's because I believe in people, and I trust when people say what they mean. Like, I just feel like what they say is their integrity, so I believe them. But this one time, I almost definitely got roped into a cult, and I was part of like an advanced program like over a weekend, and I was like in it.
Oh wow.
So that was a little scary. Thankfully, my partner knows me, and they were able to kind of remove me before it went too far. But I was definitely already like, no, this is the way of life. And it was, I was in a very vulnerable place in my life, and this was a couple years ago, and I was searching for some clarity, this came into my life, and I was like, well, maybe this is it. And it was masking as like a self-help group, but really it was just very like, it wasn't safe. If you don't have real therapists and trained people there when you're sharing something super vulnerable, people feel dependent to the people they share with. So it was this kind of very like in and out group where like, we're going to teach you everything and how to live, but it's like super expensive. They kind of keep you like very isolated from other people in your life. Yeah, that was scary. So never again. Do your research. Yeah. I'm happy I'm where I am right now and not like
oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Oh god. I'm really gullible as well. I always think people are telling me the truth, and then like, yeah.
Oh, especially if
your friend ring me up and go, my uncle died. I had like a performance or something, and then he was like, the day before, like, my uncle died, I can't do it. And I fully believed him, and I went into complete panic mode.
Also, like, why would people lie
and he was
about
like,
that?
I'm joking. I was like, really?
Oh my gosh.
Crazy. There's one here on the Crowdcast saying, Humberly, have you watched Fear Street? Someone wants to know if you've watched
People are saying that they can't see me. Why? Am I here? Do you see me?
I can see you. That's weird. Maybe they need to refresh
your computer.
Yeah, maybe they need to refresh.
Yes, I have seen Fear Street. Kiana and I are actually friends. I'm so proud of the work that she's done. I mean, her and I were in Toronto pretty much at the start of our career. 6 years ago when I met her and her partner and all of our friend group that like we're all actors. Extremely supportive, and just to see her like rise up and soar and how inspiring she is, like definitely I look up to her. Like we're in like the same kind of bubble, like from Toronto, and it's just so inspiring to know that it's possible to get to that. And she's an amazing person to be and have that platform, because she's such an incredible, genuine person that's like pure love. And that's exactly how you feel when you're around her. It's just like love. She builds you up. She supports you. No bullshit. And she's so talented. So I'm like, when she booked us, I was like, oh my God, that's it. Like I'm like, bye. We'll never see you in Toronto. But I did. I actually saw her a week ago. She was here. She's actually here in Toronto shooting something. So I got to see her and Lavelle, her partner. So that was really nice.
That's the sort of people you want at the top. You want the genuine, like people you
do.
Look up to.
People who actually want you there with them, not people who are just competitive and jealous and like threatened by your success, because I truly believe there's room for all of us here. So I just kill them with kindness. I'm like, listen, you can be like mad about it, or we could just like support each other and we can both win and celebrate each other's wins.
Exactly.
So, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Someone says, what are you enjoying the most during this time? So I mean, I guess maybe during lockdown, maybe like, what are you
honestly I recently discovered spin, which I've never done before. I used to be terrified of it. I mean, I used to see Sarah Weisglass. She's an instructor and she did it all the time.
Oh, that thing where you cycle.
You're like stuck in the bicycle though. Like once you put on those shoes, you're in it. And so it's almost like this, like I'm like, I can't commit to this for 45 minutes. What if I want to go? Like you can't just like leave. But no, I took my first class a couple weeks ago and I loved it. I do not like cardio. I don't like running. The high impact doesn't work with me and my broken feet. So this kind of gave me that runner's high without having to like go anywhere. The music is amazing. Kind of feels like you're like at this party, and it's very like validating and reassuring. You're just like, you can do this. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like sweating. So I've been working out a lot. I've been just like taking different classes now that studios are open. And I feel like it's really safe. They're asking for like vaccine proof and things like that. They're at capacity, but just being back in the community of people working out, I've met people and friends through it. So if you can't tell, I'm a very people person. So if I don't have people around,
it's a bit difficult.
I'm like, yeah. So it's been nice to, I've had a little bit of time off and I'm starting a new project next week. So I'm kind of just like gearing up for that. And I got to meet my cast next week, and I actually have a chat with the director like after this. So I'm like, I was excited, very, very exciting. Yeah. So
I'm sure it'll be amazing.
Working on myself, making sure that like my mind and my body and my soul are all like healthy and connected. It's kind of it. I hang out with Oreo a lot. My doggo.
Someone actually asked that. They said, how is Oreo?
He's so good. Okay. like he did have 2 ear infections last week. And so I had to take him to the vet. He was so sad. And now he's doing a lot better. We just went through a big trek around the woods and he was so, so happy. I just love seeing him that way because he's 11. He's not young anymore, but we have a pact. He told me he's going to live 9 more years.
Good. I'm glad. Yeah, my dogs are like 8, 9, and I'm already like, oh God, how long?
Literally,
it's horrible.
I'm already thinking like, okay, like how? No, I can't even talk about it. Can't speak it into existence. I'm like that day
put it in the world.
They're not with us. It's gonna be a hard day.
It's all good.
We'll all mourn together. I know that I will have the support because y'all know how much I love my dog.
Yeah, I know the feeling. There's a question here from Julia. How was it for you being able to portray a couple of Latina queer characters while discovering your true self? And how do you think it can impact little queer Latina girls out there?
Honestly, I can't believe I get to do this. It's such a privilege that I get to be that example because I never had that growing up. And it's very rare that you see queer Latina women on screen that are out and like actually acting and representing, and especially as a Venezuelan woman, because there's not a lot of Venezuelans in the industry as well. So there's a lot of firsts, which is exciting and nerve-wracking that, you know, there's no rule book. There's no way of like, is this the right way to do it? Is this the right way? Like all I have is trying to just be true to myself. And not gonna lie, that like my followers and my fandom has been such a huge support too, because they reassure me that yes, you are being yourself. Yes, like every time you share, it's inspiring and it's landing, right? It's making an impact. So I just have to keep digging into that. But oh my goodness, I never thought that I would come out, to be honest. Like there was a point in my life where I was like, nope, this will be my secret forever. And because I was so scared of what my family would think and what they would do. But I grew up, I moved out. My family isn't here. Like, they're not just going to be like, you're grounded, go to your room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you become independent and you're living your life, there comes a point where you say, am I living for other people or myself? And I chose to just simply live for me, and the people who truly love me will be there to support me. Otherwise, there will be other people who will do that. It is very sad that I think a lot of people, when they come out, they lose relationships and family, but that's not everything. I think there's such a beautiful community of people who have been left behind and they come together and support you. So I didn't let fear win, I guess. Yeah,
I think it's so good to have so many different people being represented, like people of color, queer, anything. Like we just need
they
more.
Can look like
I always keep saying
everyone can look a certain way, right? Like there are stereotypes when it comes to queerness, which is another one of my reservations, which is why I was also doubtful. I was like, are they going to believe me? Do they think this is like because of the show? They're going to think that it's for, you know, whatever. And I'm like, truly, this isn't. I wish it was that easy. There was real emotions attached to it. It was a struggle. I had anxiety because of it. It wasn't this like, yay, I'm out. It was like, you know, and like, what are people going to say? What are they going to think? The second I stopped thinking about that, and, you know, people are going to talk anyway, whether it's a good thing, a bad thing, whatever. So I was like, this is about me. This is going to make me be happier, get closer to myself. And no, it isn't just because of my career. So the second I was like, you know what, just say your thing. And now I'm here and it's good.
I mean, it can also be scary because some people think it can affect your career. Like you don't want it to, but I mean, we are moving progressively to a better place, but I mean, maybe some people still feel really intimidated by that, you know? So
for sure, it can go both ways because we've only ever seen like a lot of negative attachment and feelings towards it, especially in the industry. But, you know, me looking very femme and very like, you know, I'm in a seemingly like heteronormative relationship. I am dating a man, but at the same time, I'm like, people don't know my private life. You don't know what I do. Like, also my partner does not define my sexuality. And me looking this way doesn't mean that I can't be queer or other, you know, and that's my own journey to discover. If I ever change my mind about where I sit in my body, I'm still exploring parts of myself and I'm very curious about those parts of myself. So I'm just kind of like going with the flow and not letting other people's noise get in my head, because it can be very overwhelming for sure. And especially being in the public eye, it's like an added pressure. You know, imagine like, I can ask any of you in the comment section or watching, like, imagine going through your discovery journey while there's like 300,000 people watching and being
crazy.
Like, so yeah. So I definitely used to have a lot more anxiety about it. Now I'm a bit more like, no, I'm just going to do me.
Yeah, that's the best way to be, I think, because you'll be more comfortable and then interested in life in general, just to settle into yourself. And it's the only way you can be, really, isn't it? It took me a long time. I'm still a bit, you know, like I'm weird. I'm one of these people who don't like the word lesbian, and I don't know why. Like, it's been such a negative like word throughout your life that you're like, why is that? But like, that's what you are. And then
so true.
It's really strange.
And you know what? Like, those people are just, it's just their own prejudice and their own thing, like their own reality. But yeah, labels, you can change them, you can adopt them, you can be whatever. Like I use queer, but I'm also bisexual. And I like saying that now. We were just on like bisexual visibility day. And I was like, this feels like me. Especially learning more about it, that it isn't about two genders. It's about people as well. And I'm like, it's whatever that means to me, that term. To me, it's very inclusive. To me, it matches like my heart and how I feel. So yeah.
There's someone, I think it was Alexandra in the comments, said that she's Latina and queer, and she says you've helped her a lot. So that's really sweet.
That's so nice to hear. Yes, me encanta. I'm so proud of you. It's we're here, we exist, especially, you know, growing up in a culture that is very traditional. There's a pressure to, you know, get married, have kids, have a husband. Like you have to marry them before you move in with them. There's a lot of like these things we grew up with, and it's terrifying for me because I was like, I don't want any of those things. Like none of them. Like it's so freeing to finally be like, this is what I want, and it's my life. Like I don't have to get married. I don't have to have kids. I don't have to date this person. I'll do what I want.
Exactly. Have you had any like obviously you to say any specific thing, but have you had any like negative feedback from people? Like have people been a bit funny, or is it overall generally been okay?
Mostly it's because they're assuming, it's either they assume I'm just gay and then they're like, oh, I lost my chances, something like that. Or it's kind of like, oh, you're not queer because you're dating a man. It's mostly that. I think it's the misinformation and the assumption that because I share certain parts of my life, they instantly assume, oh, this is who she is. And that's the only person that's in her life, or the only relationship that's in her life. I'm like, listen, I only show you what I want to show you. I have an entire world in life, an inner world that I'm validated by and I'm happy with. So yeah, people's comments usually come out of like their own insecurities or wishing that they were there, or, you know, so.
It's a bit of ignorance, really.
Yeah, it's just kind of like ignorant. So it doesn't bug me because I'm like, yeah, but you don't know. You don't really know me. So yeah, how could you say that? It's not true.
Let's have a look. Someone's put here, is it uncomfortable to act and be vulnerable, or do you find it freeing experience?
Oh, it's so freeing. No, honestly, I call it upon. I think the beautiful thing is that the second you realize that acting isn't actually putting on a character or a mask, it's actually revealing. And there comes a point in, like, at least for me, like I used to do that a lot. And I used to have to like force emotion and force tears and force whatever. The second I just breathed into it and really believed what was happening right now, these words are real. This relationship is real. It's the next moment in my life, even though it's like a created circumstance. I still let it affect me because I'd much rather do that and be open to have amazing work be captured on camera than to like fake it. It's a lot more work to fake it. Trust me. At least that's how it feels for me. So no, oh my gosh, I love being vulnerable. I'm okay with people seeing me vulnerable. I think it inspires other people to see that it's okay to be vulnerable and be seen. I'm not afraid to cry or be mad or be ugly, whatever that means. It's just an emotion. There's no ugliness in it. It's beautiful to be vulnerable. So I hope that with my work, other people feel that way, that I really am trying to show like an authentic emotion in that moment. People are always like, oh my God, how do you cry? Were those real tears? Like, did they put like drops in your eye or like something? And I'm like, no, it's all real. And yes, sometimes it's exhausting, but it's incredibly cathartic. You know, you don't go around your day just like having these full blown scenes where you get to like yell at someone or say your piece or be strong and cry. Like after a big scene like that, I'm like, whew, I needed that. I needed to like let go of that. It's like a rage room, but for your emotions. Like it's great.
Yeah. Especially if you can like think about an experience you've had before, and then you can bring that in, and then you can sort of work through it a little bit, maybe something similar. That's
exactly it. Like we're humans. We can definitely like take experiences and emotions and things we've been in our life and apply them to the work. That's exactly it. That's why they say like live your life, have experiences. Like it's not about good or bad or whatever. It's just life experience. It'll make your work better. They say it's like it takes like 20 years to make a full-blown actor because they've been through so much. I'm like, cool. Like, so maybe halfway there.
You learn from life.
Yeah.
So there's another question here. Do you have a favorite character that you've played? Do you have one maybe that you connect specifically with?
I mean, I would have to say Brooklyn. She it was my first like series regular role where I got to be in every single episode and have such a very unique storyline. And I just got time to sink into her, you know? And I got to sing and I got to act and dance, like all of the things that I love. Love that team. I mean, we created something so special. And I think Brooklyn will always be like just part of me. I feel very hurt today. I have like straight hair.
I can't believe it happened at season 2. Like I watched that. And
I know. Like, it's just been limbo. It's been canceled. It's honestly, it's the politics of the business behind closed doors. I couldn't even tell you what the heck's going on, but who knows? Like who really knows? I'm just glad one season exists and it's out there in the world and people can watch it and be like, wow, you know.
Someone's been here. Is there anyone in the industry that you would love to act with in the future?
So
who's
many.
Like your dream scene partner?
I mean, I would love to act with Gina Rodriguez. She's great. I like binged all of Jane the Virgin and I was like, yep, that's the kind of actor I want to be. I was very inspired by her, seeing a Latina in a lead role in a huge network. It was just like, this never happens. This could be me someday. Yes. I would also love to act with Shamir Anderson, and he's also an Ontario, like Toronto local. He's also blowing up. He did a movie with Gina. So I'm like, listen, 1 degree of separation. Let's go. Like we're all going to make a movie. I
interviewed him when he was on Winona, when he wasn't so big. I interviewed him. That was so weird.
That's amazing. No,
yeah.
So talented. I'm just like, the talent.
Yeah, he's really blowing up. Like the talent in Canada is ridiculous.
My co-stars. We could just like be in a throuple or something and like have like this wild love story. Yeah.
Yeah, Canada, I think, is like so underrated for like.
You have amazing talent. I'm telling you.
I don't believe that was made in Canada. Oh, that other show I thought made in Canada. Like, what's happening?
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. You know,
definitely.
Not just living in igloos and eating maple syrup.
Getting stuck in snowstorms. Do you think, for a question from me, do you think you'll ever manage to get to any conventions and stuff like that? Is that something you would be interested in?
I mean, I hope so. Stuff? I would love to meet people in person and fans in person. I'm like crossing my fingers. I have all the energy for that. That's like where I thrive. I love to meet people, and I never went to any conventions myself, so I have no idea what to encounter. I feel like they might be super wild, but I'm okay. I'm ready for the challenge. I think I would make it fun and just like make people's days and make my day. Like, I feel like it would just be such a love puddle. I'm like, let's go.
I went to quite a few conventions before COVID, and it's just so much fun. Like, it's almost more fun to just see your friends, and then like, even as actors, like, you should be just seeing your mates, and then you can just hang out.
You're like, oh, sorry. That's so cool. Yeah.
We've got loads of people in here asking you to sing, but you don't have to sing. But maybe like, what sort of music do you like? Like, what in your personal life do you like?
A lot of Latin music. Everybody who knows me already knows that I love Latin reggae. Like, love her. Dale lento, un poquito más lento. That's it. That's all you get. But that song will always be like one of my favorite songs that she's sang. Love Spanish music, love house music. Honestly, I'll listen to anything as long as it's good, but I guess it's like my own interpretation.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Hilarious. I don't listen to too much like hip hop per se. Like I like Lil Nas, made some like really cool music, but I don't know. If it makes me dance or cry, I'm into it.
That works.
Yeah.
Dancing's good. Someone has put, Catherine has put, what's a hobby or interest that you have that would surprise us?
Oh, an interest?
Yeah, like a hobby.
Just like
something that
anything?
you do.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a hobby, but like I know how to mend clothing. Like I can
That's
sew.
a handy hobby. That's handy.
Yeah, literally my partner just gave me like a bunch of clothes that are just like ripped and I was like, cool, I'll get to fix them. I haven't yet, but I did mend one of my dresses, my white one that I wore recently for an event, and it looked perfect. I was like, good.
That's when you feel
I'd love to learn
accomplished.
more. I actually am so interested in like trying to make my own clothes and get a little sewing machine for home and see like if I can teach myself. Like that'd be awesome. Kind of like upcycle my own clothing if I'm bored of a shirt and just kind of like transform it. Definitely something I'm
Yeah.
interested in. Yeah.
That's cool. Somebody said something about, have you got an EP coming out? But I don't know if you have. Somebody said,
A what?
Album. You should do an album,
Gosh.
I think is what
Okay,
people are saying.
listen. Oh no, music has been such a, like a thing that keeps coming back into my life. I just recently finished shooting a movie where I play a singer, and the talent, oh gosh, the songs are amazing. I actually get to record them in the studio next week, like officially, because when we shoot the movie, we have guide tracks, but it's not the official music. I got to collaborate with incredible people that are just so talented. And it just kind of reminded me that like I have the connections to be able to like go to a studio and record music if I want to. I just have to be willing to say yes and do it. Get over the fear of like, is this song good enough? So I think I might start writing music and see where it goes and collaborate with people and be like, or if anything, like be in my friends' like tracks to like, I'll bring like a bridge or a chorus or something. Do like some Spanglish action, but I definitely do want to sing. It's definitely going to happen in my lifetime, 100%. So thanks for the reminder. I'll get on
that. Somebody has put, what's your favorite movie or series in Spanish? Also, would you like to be in a Latin series or movie?
Yeah, of course. I would love to act in Spanish. That would be so cool. I started watching Elite and I really like it. So is that how you say it? Elite? I don't know. Probably Elite. I would love to be in a show like that. So cool. So probably that one. In Spanish, see, I grew up watching like movies that were not in Spanish, but they were dubbed in Spanish. So there's that.
It's weird. The dubbing is really strange in languages as well.
Really
like, love in German. It's weird.
The platform on Netflix, Plataforma, it was in Spanish. Very good. It's like very kind of scary, but it's about a class system. And I love movies like that. That one was excellent. So I recommend it if y'all haven't seen it.
That's cool. As long as it's got English subtitles, I'm good.
Oh yeah, it does.
A lot of foreign, like foreign stuff with subtitles.
Yeah, in Spanish, anyway, like Spanish horror. There's a lot of it in Netflix, and they're really fun. Yeah.
Well, that's good. It's good to, I think, even if you just don't know the language, it's interesting just to hear it. That's
yeah,
good.
for sure.
There's one from Instagram. They've got a sort of random Instagram name, but anyway, Primark Press on Nails. That's what they're called.
Nice.
How did you get into acting and how old were you?
My gosh. I mean, I feel like I've always wanted to go into acting since I was a kid, but officially, like right out of high school, I decided to go into acting school. And I trained for like 5 years before I moved to Toronto and worked professionally. So I got into it just because I really I took drama all of high school. I did like, theater shows. My community theater, things like that. Actually, Facebook reminded me yesterday that 12 years ago, I landed the lead in High School Musical, Gabriella, in my community theater in Fort McMurray, Alberta. So it's like, but we sold out every single show. So ever since that, 12 years ago, I was like, I need to do this. Like, this is my dream and I'm going to pursue it. So right when I graduated school, I was like, okay, acting schools, let's audition. Let's submit. Like, what do you need from me? And I ended up getting in, ended up training in Montreal and in Alberta. And then when I graduated, I moved here, got an agent and started auditioning. Like, it is so practical. I'm like, anybody could get into acting. Simple steps: train, get an agent, start auditioning. If you have any talent, if you have a knack for it, if you're willing to like do the work, like, it's possible. Good resume and headshot, you're good to go.
You just got to be dedicated. You got to be dedicated.
For sure.
Not be let down by all the no's, because I expect there are quite a lot.
For sure. Yeah, rejection is a part of it. You got to just remember that if it's not for you, it's not for you. But what is for you will not pass you. So you just have to make sure that you stay on course. Don't compare yourself to other people. Don't let it get you down. Like, you are going to have downtimes, and that's okay. And that's fair because you care. But it's not about resigning, just feeling like, nope, that's it. It's a long journey. It's not linear. There's a lot of ups and downs. But if it's your passion and your dream, go for it. Like, life's too short to not do what you love. Like, that's how I feel.
Well, exactly. It's a question from Catherine again. It says, aside from acting and drama, what was your favorite subject in school?
Dance.
You're like me. I literally just did all the artsy subjects. I didn't even bother with history. It got to a point that
I hated history. I was awful at math, and my dad's an engineer, so it was just like so embarrassing. But I quite liked science. I was really good at bio. And I liked my physics professor. He was so zany, and we always used to do like really cool experiments. So he made class really fun, and I made some of my best friends, who I'm still best friends with, in my science class in bio. And so that was fun. Yeah.
I bio kind of links to. That's the only one I could actually see the point of, in a way. I was like, well, okay, I need to understand what's my body is happening in there. So
yeah,
that makes sense. But like chemistry, I was like,
I still remember like
gonna need that.
I still remember shit from like the trajectory of like how blood moves through the heart from like the left ventricle, and it goes down to the aorta to the right ventricle. I'm like, why do I still remember this? Like,
it's made an impact stuff, isn't it?
Could have been a doctor. Fine. I just played one on TV. Good enough.
There you go. Totally. You never know when you need these things. Okay, so I'll do one more question from me. Cool. So is there anything coming up that you want to advertise, or any shows you want to pinpoint or anything like that?
You're so close. Okay, so I can't necessarily say it yet, but I do have a movie coming out. The announcement is happening on September 28th. I believe People is going to release the first thing that morning. So once they release it, I am able to talk about it and post about it, and I'll annoy all of you. Oh, wait, I do have my video game coming out October 7th, Far Cry 6. I did full like motion capture and voice for one of the characters. Dear friends of mine, pretty much like a huge Canadian cast, huge Hispanic cast for this. So we're actually all getting together like just a few days after it releases to go play the game and like celebrate. But it's going to be such an awesome game, and I can't wait to play it.
How was it doing the capture? Because is it the one where you have all the dots on you?
Yeah, and on your face, like they draw this, and then you wear an HTC helmet that has 3 cameras and a light. And yeah, it's closer to theater because you do have to rehearse. Like we spend actual like full days rehearsing and mapping it out and doing the blueprint. And then when we go to picture and camera, we have to do what we rehearsed. But it's really great because it's all about creativity and imagination. Like there's no wardrobe or hair and makeup. It's literally just you, your imagination, your lines, and you just get to play. It's very physical. and you're just building the world. Like we don't have a set. We have a bunch of like metal poles and wooden boxes, and we make props out of wood, like weapons out of wood. And our cell phones are literally just like a piece of plywood. And then when we put it in our pocket, you just like throw it because it disappears. And there's these people who are like the ghosts, and they just like go in because they don't have the suit. They can just go in and grab stuff. Like all the camera people are with you in the volume, and they're not being recorded because they don't have the dots. So it's like such a different world, but so fun. Yeah.
I bet you probably learned quite a lot. If it's physical, it's very much like if you were dancing, like you were learning a routine, I guess.
It's like learning choreo for sure. You have to be very aware of your body and your choices. Nothing is unintentional because everything gets recorded. So unlike film where you can kind of like throw things away, and every take can be a little different if you're like touching your hair or whatever. If it's not in line with the character in video games, like they can't use it. Every move is intentional. So you have to be so aware of your entire body so that they can use that animation and put it into a character. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's so cool though. That's a new experience. Would you want to do it again?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Sorry, what?
Yeah. Would you want to do a video game again? Did you enjoy it?
Heck yeah. For sure. I love doing video games. It's so different from film where like it's sporadic, like you do sessions at a time. Like we've been working on this for like 3 years, it feels. So it's wild. And then you do all of the voice separate, like later in the studio. So it's really great. Like it just kind of takes a while and it's a whole process, but I would definitely do it again. Yeah.
That's great. Okay. I think we've come to the end then. So thank you very much for coming on. I do appreciate you taking your time out to come and talk to us.
This is so fun. I miss everyone. I haven't like gone live or done anything like that in a moment. So I might have to do that more often and soon so that we can all just hang out. Like literally last year I used to go on live, and then I used to just tell people like, send me a song and I'll sing it. And I would just like put the track on YouTube and just sing. And I was like, that was a time. Do we remember this? We do. Oh, good. It was really nice to engage with people on the internet and then feeling like they're just my friends and like we know each other. Such a bizarre feeling, but everyone is just so kind and sweet. And I love all of you, all 37 of you that are in this room. Thank you for being here. And you. So I guess 38. Is that
38? Yeah, I'm not on there.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, supporting me. And yeah, it's weird to say sometimes. I'm like, I'm literally realizing my dream and living it. And I'm just so grateful. And I would want all of you to feel the same way when, you go and chase that dream that people tell you that it's impossible. Screw that. It is. You have to try first.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, lots of hearts in the comments. So lots of people.
Yay!
So lots of hearts. Do all the hearts.
Hearts.
Lots of hearts.
Love
all
you
right. Well, take care. And thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed today's Qinterview, feel free to subscribe and leave a like and comment down below. Hope to see you next time. Bye.